In the shadowy halls of the Modrix family crypt, betrayal and vengeance come to life. Today, we're crafting a boss room where storytelling, puzzles, and epic combat will collide. Hey crafters, welcome back to HANDCRAFTED. Today, we're building something truly special, a boss room for your dungeons adventures. This isn't just any room, it's a haunted crypt of the Modrix family, where tragedy and treachery have feasted for generations. This modular build pulls together elements from my previous videos, city tiles, city stackers, and even evil terrain, to create a versatile and flexible setup that will bring this story to life. I've even added a couple of simple puzzles and unique combat mechanics to make the encounter against Real and Modrix vengeful ghost truly unforgettable. And the best part, I put together a PDF on my itch.io page with everything you need. The tile room layouts, puzzle ideas, and combat mechanics. And it's completely free if you go there through the link I will provide in the video description. So, let's get started! Alright, the first thing we will do is to prepare the game board. For this, I use 4 of my city tiles, specifically the ones with only stone pavement. To summarize, I use 30 cm floor vinyl tiles as the base. I cut a bunch of small XPS foam tiles of various sizes with a hot wire cutter and textured them. I glued everything onto the tile sticky side, forming a pattern. Then I filled the gaps with fine sand and sealed everything with alcohol and watered down PVA glue before painting. You can find the full video with all the details here, so check it out if you're interested. Now let's add height to our encounter board using city stackers. These are from my last video, available in various sizes, which allow us to create interesting layouts. Then we connect everything with the stairs I made in the same video. To summarize again, these pieces are XPS foam blocks covered in foam bricks. On the top, I use the same techniques as the regular city tiles, gluing everything with PVA glue this time. I coated the sides with some filler to cover the gaps, making it easier to paint later. I also made a set of 8 stairs using XPS foam strips. Finally, I painted everything using the same techniques as for the city tiles, but I slightly varied the ink undertones to differentiate them a bit. You will find the complete video here, which also shows how these pieces can create a port alongside the water tiles I also demonstrate how to make. Perfect, now I will place the tomb. This is an important part of the setup as it's the final objectives for the heroes. I made it a while ago from a small stone box I had. I simply textured it with filler and then painted. Right on top, I'm placing this miniature from the Lord of the Rings. It's one of the hobbits after being captured by the Barrow Wights. To adorn the area, I will add 4 columns. Initially, I used simpler ones I made a while ago. The tutorial for those is available on a short video. However, I wanted something more thematic, so I used this from my Evil Terrain video. They were made from an XPS foam block with grooves carved using a hot wire cutter. I added plastic skulls and adhesive jewelry. After some extra detailing and a coat of paint, they turn out just as you see in the video. Check out the original one to see the detailed process along with other interesting pieces. Great, now we will place a roof using a couple more stackers. During the process, I decide to remove a couple stairs and add platforms instead. This adds more dynamism to the environment and forces players to move around more. I will also add some wooden towers. Both the towers and the walkways have their own tutorials in short format, which you can find on my channel page. Alright, let's keep adding details, this time a small altar I made in the same video as the skull columns. We will place it at the base of the main section. You can see part of the process here, including how I made the book and assembled everything. Oh, and the statues on this side are miniatures from the Lord of the Rings, mounted on a block of styrofoam, textured with filler and then painted. Alright, while I was thinking about the final details for the crypt, I opened Illustrator and started putting together a small diagram for the promised PDF. I'm not exactly an expert with these programs, but I managed to create a schematic that clearly represents the space I was designing with the terrain pieces. Once the illustration was finished, I switched to InDesign to add information. Key map elements, instructions for the puzzles, the story of the Modric family, and some mechanics for the final boss. With this, you will have everything you need to recreate a truly engaging final battle that will keep your players on constant alert and allow you to make the most of your terrain pieces. Before we get into the finishing touches, let me take a moment to share something awesome. If you are inspired by this build and want to recreate it, I've got a free PDF available on my itch.io page. It includes a full breakdown of the crypt's design, combat mechanics for the boss fight, and ideas for integrating puzzles into the room. All of this is completely system agnostic, so you can use it with any RPG. And if you're coming from this video, you can grab it for free. It's my way of saying thanks for supporting the channel and diving into these creative projects with me. And hey, if you're enjoying this content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more terrain builds, crafting tips, and tabletop inspiration. Every bit of support helps keep the channel going and allows me to create even more exciting content for you. This is really coming together. Next, I will place some plastic pieces I have again from the Lord of the Rings. You will often see lots of Lord of the Rings all miniatures in my videos. And that's because when I was 12, I made a collection from Battles in the Middle-earth, which introduced me to the hobby and terrain building. I've also added some stones that I simply painted. To add drama, I scattered some chains on the ground purely for decoration. Also, some skull piles I had lying around. They really fit the theme. The color doesn't show up well when I zoom in on them, and honestly, this is because I didn't set up the lighting properly. Apologize for that. While this could already work as a perfectly finished room, I think we can still add more details to increase the immersion. For example, one of my wooden cranes. I imagine they use one of these to lift the heavy stone gravestones and coffins into their proper places. A bit more scattered terrain too, like some barrels and crates. The crate is handmade and the barrels are from Playmobil, just painted to fit my scenery. Okay, let's add a small puzzle element. These tiles are nothing more than painted hard cardboard with a round drawn on them using a marker. We will use them as pressure plates. It's better to place all of them at the bottom since they need to be pressed simultaneously to make the stairs appear. You will find all the details about this adventure in the PDF. Remember, it's available on my itch.io. Now it's time for some Lego levers that I spray painted and then added some acrylic detailing. I will add a couple of these as well, which will control some of the stairs in the area. When the heroes manage to reach the tomb, they will awaken the ghost of Rylan, the treacherous son who stabbed his father in the back. He was cursed, bound to protect his father's tomb for all the eternity. This ghost can summon up to 2 skeletons and can only be harmed by magic or silver weapons. He will also conjure a flames wall around the tomb and smaller fires to trap the heroes or block their paths. I made these flames and many other spell markers in an older video, primarily using hot glue. I painted everything carefully since it required multiple coats, then glued the parts together and mounted them on small bases using hot glue again. And now that we've finished, it's time for some cool shots. And there we have it! The modular script is complete. This boss room is the perfect showcase of how modular terrain can unlock endless possibilities. By combining elements like city tiles, city stackers, and themed terrain, you can create a space that's not just visually stunning, but also deeply engaging for your players. If you want to recreate this setup or just need some inspiration, don't forget to download the free PDF on magich.io page. And for even more content like exclusive templates, behind-the-scenes looks, and early access to my project, check out my Patreon. Your support keeps the channel alive and helps me bring these creative builds to life. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay creative, keep crafting, and I will see you in the next video.